children do you take care of right now?
Right now we have 98 active children and families, which is quite a lot for the number of staff that we have.
So you said 13, right?
Yes, there's 13 staff total.
Okay. 13 members.
8 of which are providing direct service to families,
Okay.
and then others are providing support services. We have a tuk-tuk driver. Well, I guess he's providing direct service as well, because we have a wheelchair accessible tuk-tuk, so that we can transport children more easily. But we also have a child care provider for the staff children and cleaner and admin.
Okay. So I guess the children are mainly from the area of Siem Reap?
About, probably about 70% of the children that we serve live within maybe 40 or 50 kilometers of Siem Reap. And then maybe another 20%, 15% live in Siem Reap province, but much further than we can really expect staff to travel by motorbike.
Yeah.
So we rent a van a few times a month and go to the more distant villages. And about 10% of the children actually come from other provinces because there isn't any similar service for them there. And they have NGOs in their province that support their traveling costs to be able to come here.
So the team members, they are also from the region?
Yes, well, all of them are Cambodian. Some are from other parts of Cambodia, but most of them are from Siem Reap. So we have 2 nurses. One is a nurse midwife, one is a nurse. And both of them have a degree from university or training school that you would expect. But in general, nurses training does not include a lot of information about either disability or child development. So when we hire even wonderful nurses, there's still a lot of training that we provide related to all the disability-specific things. Social workers that we have come from different backgrounds, training backgrounds, one psychology, one more management related, but lots of on-the-job experience with social work. There is one social work university program in Cambodia that started about 7 or 8 years ago. So there's a very small number of university-trained social workers. There are, thankfully, lots of opportunities for ongoing training for informally trained social workers. So we give all of our staff as much opportunity as we possibly can to keep learning and improving their skills. We have one physiotherapist at the moment who's a new graduate from the physiotherapy training program in Phnom Penh. There's a huge shortage of physiotherapists in Cambodia. There's a high need for them because of the high rate of disability, but the school, the one and only school that does training for physiotherapists graduates only 10 to 20 students per year. So we're also trying to promote lots of high school students who might be thinking about career choices to look at physiotherapy. And our interventionists, who are the child development specialists, come from a very interesting background. Could be teaching, could be something completely unrelated. We have one whose university focus was banking and finance. But these are all people who have demonstrated a great aptitude for working with children. And a great ability and desire to learn. And so they get a lot of training from sometimes occupational therapists, sometimes speech therapists, sometimes special educators. Okay. So they really work on a variety of skills. And we have one who's been here 7 years. She's really quite amazing, has probably more training than almost anyone else, certainly in Siem Reap. Maybe excluding Phnom Penh, where there's a bit more concentration of skilled people, maybe in the rest of the country. She's the one staff we have who can work with children with autism because she's had enough training to be able to do that. Okay. So they come sometimes with almost no experience related to disability. They might have skills that are useful, but there's a lot of training that we do. There's a constant ongoing capacity building of our staff. Like we're thinking all the time about how can we improve their access to education, how can we improve their ability to get training specific to this specialist skill that they have. It can be quite hard to find training in Cambodia, So we actually use foreign trainers, volunteers who come, usually midlife professionals who've been working in that field of nursing or physiotherapy or child development, speech therapy, occupational therapy. Anyway, if they've been working for a number of years,
Okay.
they preferably have some experience already with teaching or mentoring other
So you have a
professionals.
volunteer program, or is it just like?
It's not a program so much
Yeah.
as if people are interested,
Okay.
they contact me.
Okay.
And there's a process. We're quite careful about screening because we want it to be a good experience, certainly for our staff
About
and
screen-
also for the volunteer.
You said you're careful about?
Screening
Yeah.
screening to
Oh.
make sure that the volunteer has the right experience we
Yes.
need, the right abilities we need, and the right expectations for what their time here will look like.
Okay.
Because training people, teaching the skill you know is another new skill on top of doing what you know how to do well. And then teaching it to people who are not native speakers of English, who are also working in a very different cultural and low resource environment is also an extra challenge. But we have some amazing volunteers, many of whom come back every year, and that is extraordinarily valuable for us because
It
they've
is.
got a good relationship with the staff. They can follow up all the training that was done the previous year, see how well
Mhm.
that's being used, where staff need some extra help, and then take it to the next level. So we're incredibly grateful to our loyal volunteers who do that for us.